Member Prince George Vilmont.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Community Social Service Agency representatives are here today because of a specific policy decision made by this government. And it's a serious concern. This government has decided to provide unionized social service agencies with almost 3 times the level of funding increase for wages from the non-union agencies. Now, the minister can stand up, he can brag, he can yell louder, but the fact of the matter is, he admonishes about listening, then maybe he needs to listen to the workers who said this, not members on this side of the House, but people who are in the gallery and will be here today said this about that specific decision. Here's what the BC CEO Network wrote, and I quote, "This inequity in funding will rapidly lead to the destabilization of services for children, youth, families, people with intellectual disabilities, Indigenous people, and communities. Agencies where there are both union and non-union workers will be thrown into chaos." So the minister wants to stand up and bluster, he can, but these workers, these agencies are concerned about his policy decision. I ask him to stand up and answer their question.
Minister, Social Development and Poverty Reduction Strategy.
Honourable Speaker, and this from a party when they were government that rolled back the wages of community social service workers, that rolled back the wages.
Members, the government side listened to the question. Now please listen to the response.
Honourable Speaker, we used a collaborative process. We engaged people in this community. Honourable Speaker, yeah, it's pretty shameful performance over there, absolutely. Honourable Speaker, we have worked with the sector. Honourable Speaker, the CEO Network, a dedicated group of service providers who are here today, and they're here, and we've talked to them. I talked to them last week. We'll be talking more. But what they're here to talk about, something that side might want to learn something about, is they're here to talk about the people who get served. We have worked with this sector. We have worked with the advocates. We have worked with the stakeholders. And we've worked with them to evolve and develop a system moving forward that works for vulnerable people who need help, who have been desperate after over a decade and a half. Honourable Speaker, this system is working. The system works. We're supporting the system. We will continue to support it, and it will provide the change we're looking for in people's lives.
Member Prince George Vilmont on a supplemental.
Well, Mr. Speaker, that answer was the height of disrespect to the workers and the agencies that are here today. He can actually duck, dodge, and try to weave, but let's be clear. They made a decision, this government made a decision, and if they're so convinced it's the right one, then he should have the courage today to stand up, look them in the eye, and explain why certain workers will receive significantly less increases than other workers. Mr. Speaker, the Federation of Community Social Services of BC represents over 140 agencies that support vulnerable people in this province. Here's what they wrote to the government. Not me, not anyone on this side of the House. Here's what they wrote, and I quote, "There are serious and urgent concerns, not about anything other than this decision made by this government." They go on to say this: agencies will have to reduce services to cover the costs, and the sector is more fragile than ever. That's on this government's watch. This minister needs to stand up. These agencies deserve an answer to their concerns, not listening to bluster and bragging. Answer the question, Minister.
Minister Social Development and Climate Change. Sorry. Poverty. I guess maybe I'm trying to change the weather in here. Poverty reduction strategy.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, this side is proud of the work that we're doing with people who work hard every day for vulnerable British Columbians. We're proud of that partnership we're building with them, and we will build and move that partnership forward in the interest of those organizations, of the people they serve. What we won't do is take advice from a group of people who ignored, neglected, and devalued people every day